And I just saw a headline, but maybe you can educate me on what it is. You want to make the AR-15 the national gun of America?
So there was a member of Congress, Barry Moore from Alabama, was passing around a pamphlet. That's how we get people to co-sponsor our bills, right? So I didn't write the bill. I'm pro Second Amendment through and through. I make no excuses for it. I walk around with a Gadsden flag lapel pin almost all the time, as a, don't thread on me. Don't step on my freedoms, right? I'm sensitive and I'm sympathetic to what's going on in our country, but I don't stem it back to guns. I stem it back to mental health issues.
Right. I guess my question would be, it sounds like a piece of legislation that was drawn up specifically to own the libs, which I don't know how productive that is. If you're in Congress, I'm sure there are more important things to be working on.
Yeah.
Like, why would we need to just declare the AR-15 to be a national gun? Like, was anybody really asking for that? I
mean, look, if the congressman wrote it up, I'm pretty sure he had the request, and I got positive support in my district. Remember, I represent some pretty conservative parts of New York, in my district, and I got positive support. I did get dinged over the head. I mean, there was a protest outside my my office just yesterday because of, again, reviving this bill. Every time there's a shooting, they go outside of my office and protest because I co-sponsor this bill. I'm
not saying that you're responsible for shootings, for mass killings, or anything of that nature. I just don't understand why we would need to have a national.
We have gun. A national everything. Why not have a gun? Why are we excluding gun?
Because gun violence in America, especially school shootings, is a uniquely American problem, and to give a mascot to that is it's performative politics, and it's pointless. And y'all know it's pointless. It doesn't serve any actual purpose other than performative points for the voters that you want to get.
Does any national anything serve any points?
National bird, bald eagle. Bald eagles are sweet. They're cool.
They're also predatory.
Yeah, they're cool. But they're a predator, to my point, right?
But
are we going to ding them for that?
No, that's my point.
No, I'm pro eagle.
I'm pro eagle too.
Okay.
No, my point is it's performative in the sense that y'all know it's to brand yourselves as I like guns, to placate to voters that you enjoy weapons as well. But
you just figured out Congress, though. That's Congress.
No, I mean, that's my problem with politics in general is y'all don't actually do shit. I don't want to be too disrespectful, but y'all just
you can't be disrespectful.
But I'm saying y'all just play to the crowd, and instead of actually getting shit done in a real way, y'all are trying to keep your seats, and you do shit like that.
So let me dive into that with you, and I'll tell you this. Okay. I agree. Yeah. I ran for Congress because I was pissed off at that garbage. Right? It's garbage.
And you co-signed a bill.
Look, that's fine. I co-sponsored 66 bills so far, right? Mm-hmm. If you look, I have the most activity speaking on the floor. I speak about all real issues, right? My main driver right now is water quality. I know something that most of us don't talk about. Most of us don't know. You just open the faucet, fill your glass, you drink, whatever the case is. Nobody really realizes the troubles it comes through. You get through to get that water to come out of your faucet. That's become my main, like yesterday I was touring facilities. All the water sources on Long Island come through aquifers, underground aquifers. And the problem that we have is contaminants because of irresponsible chemical dumping throughout, the history of our country, specifically on Long Island, with the Grumman plume, with the Polytech plume. These are all issues we've had, chronic issues. I have a town in my district that in 11 months, if we do absolutely nothing, they will not have access to clean water because all their water wells will have been contaminated. Right? So I'm working on that.
Listen, I'm pro water too.
That's bipartisan. Nobody's going to be
it's not about bipartisan.
What is it about?
The media won't report that I'm working on that.
Because
the media doesn't want to highlight good work we do.
That's like saying if you have kids, like you gave them dinner last night, I'm supposed to like pat you on the back for doing what you're supposed to do.
No.
When you do things out of the unnecessarily out of the norm to score political points, that's of course the media is going to sensationalize.
So this is the problem we have is it's all sensationalized, right? Mm-hmm. When you look at it,
but you play to that.
We all do. Every single politician. Okay. No, you don't. Every single politician, because it's about getting, a point across.
That's what I'm saying.
But it is about getting a point across. I don't think any politician is going to deny that to you.
Well, no, that's the issue. The issue is, instead of actually being about diplomacy and being about peace, co-signing a bill that gives America a national gun, there are going to be people in opposition to that. And there's no win there. The only win is, like you said, to own the libs and to score some points and to get traction on social media and to get traction to drum up the profile so that you get voters. That's the issue that I have with politics in America. And politicians, quite frankly, should have that same issue, because y'all complain about each other and yourselves, but you are all in the same arena dancing the same dance. And it makes no sense.
Look, I'm not going to disagree with you, but all I can say is if the media also stops sensationalizing messaging bills, that's what those are called, by the way, messaging bills, and everybody does them. If you go through every single member of Congress's, I have not introduced a messaging bill yet. I have only put actual tangible bills. The bills I'm introducing are tangible, real issues we have. So the United States likes to say we're the country of tolerance, peace, love, and equality, but we're funding countries to the tune of $19 billion a year that throw gay people off buildings and hang them off the side of buildings. Why are we sending fucking money to them? Why are we giving your taxpayer dollars to countries that don't respect the same values we have here? I put a bill out on that. I couldn't get a single co-sponsor. I don't know if it's because it's me. I don't know if it's because they don't really care. I don't know if it's because they're virtual signaling. That's a problem, but that's a real issue. Then I go and I make a very identical copy of the bill for women's rights. We give over $50 billion to countries that mutilate women's genitalia, don't let them drive, don't let them go to school. They don't have freedom. They can barely show their eyes out in public, and we're funding that suppression. Right? So those are issues. These are taxpayer dollars. If we pass these two bills, we're saving $69 billion for the American people that can go back to helping veterans, that can go back to helping infrastructure in this country, that we can stop all the nonsense and lower taxes. Nobody wants to talk about it.
What? Yes,
I would love to talk about it.
I would talk about it.
I'm saying
nobody wants to talk about it.
Grandstand on that and don't waste your time with silly shit that the media is going to sensationalize.
But that's the thing.
Because the media is important, regardless of how you feel about them. They're important to a free society.
I totally agree. They're the beacon of transparency and putting out information. But
I love that you put transparency in quotes.
Because it is. It's not transparent.
Okay.
Like, you look at every different network and they all have a different agenda. You turn on CNN and you turn on Fox at the same time. It's two freaking different alternative realities.
They should, though.
That's terrible.
That's not.
It's opinionated journalism. It's not good.
So do you then agree that we can do away with the law that created the monster that is Fox News and MSNBC? If it's opinionated journalism, I think that was Nixon that created that, right? Would you be in favor of eliminating Fox News's and MSNBC's across the board?
I'm not in favor of eliminating. As you're saying, are you talking about antitrust laws because they're just so big, like News Corp? Is that what you're alluding to?
It was the law that Nixon passed. I'm going to look up the law that gave rise to cable news networks like this that didn't have to abide by the same standards and practices. It was the Nixon administration. It was Roger Ailes that helped create this. It was 1970. Roger Ailes and Nixon aides came up with a plan to create a new TV network that would circumvent existing media and provide pro-administration coverage to millions.
Sounds accurate.
So I feel like that would be good for America in general, is to get rid of these types of media establishments and go back to an era where it was just about what the actual facts.
But then we're going to go back to an era like of NPR, which is state-funded media. That's a problem.
NPR is just boring. We talked about this on the. They should just have a boring tag next to them, not state-funded. Go ahead. We have a special guest that I want to bring in.
But this is why you have a lot of growing anti-capitalists in America, is because the logical conclusion of capitalism is media networks that maximize profits, and how you maximize profits is clicks and clickbait and stuff like that. And so that is the logical end.
You're telling me about clickbait?
No, well,
I've seen articles that have nothing to do with me on the internet, but my name's a tagline.
No, I'm linking it to a cornerstone of the Republican Party, which is capitalism, and the Democratic Party. And so in order to, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I think if you spend the majority of your time lobbying for things like the clean water and shit, you're going to find a lot more people view you favorably rather than trying to sow the divide. Like, that's my problem with political pundits and politicians in general is they would rather sow the divide to score points than rather like to find some kind of peace and diplomacy, because we live in a country where it's super divided and it's going to continue to be divided, but it's rather we come to the table and eat the same food rather than throw it at each other.
Look, I'll say this. I'm always willing and ready to work with anybody on anything. I'm partisan. I'm a Republican, and I'm proud of that. But the reality is the media is not representing the accurate opinion of the district right now. I can say this until I'm blue in the face. You guys have to go into the district with me and see the reaction.
So you think you're going to win? You're going to win?
We're going to send Billy on a camera with you.
I'd love to do it. Like, when I'm back in first week of May, it's an open invitation. We'll go out and do it. We'll spend a day in the district and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's cars going by my district office as I'm like literally Windexing and cleaning the glass because I'm OCD, and I'm not going to go hire some crazy government contract to pay them $3,000 a month to come clean a window. I can just spray Windex and paper towel it down, right? People going by and say, we love you. That's why we voted for you. You're simple. You get it. Like this is kind of like, and that's not for show. That's just who I am, right? So I go to restaurants, people are coming up and giving me words of support. I get words of support on my phone all day long. You know, it's texts like, hang in there. That's why we voted for you, because you don't back down. Look, if there's something that can be learned is that after Congress, whether I get elected or not, I didn't know I was going to get elected this time. You never know. Elections are they go with the wind. So I just didn't know. I don't know if I'll get elected again, but I'll try.
But you're running. You're definitely.
I'm not definitely. I haven't announced that yet.
Okay. But it sounds like you're planning on